Hello guys, gals and non-binary pals, welcome to another episode of really good news. In fact, this might be the first time I have ever brought you news as good as this. So stick with me, this is a very tired update. I stayed up late just to bring you this because I've been waiting for the result of the vote. I'm reporting directly from my bed. If you had any kind of creepy thought, go get your credit card. You knew this was coming. Go get your credit card and donate £20 directly to your nearest dog rescue, right? Because you're a fucking creep. I don't care. Get off my page, but do something decent with your weird, creepy thoughts before you go. For the people who are still here, I'm very tired. You all know I have chronic illness. I'm going to read this off of a wee bit of paper, and this is the best news I can imagine bringing you. And I think we need this so badly because the world is going to absolute shit. And I just think we need examples of things that are going right. So tonight at 10 p.m. on, what day was it? Wednesday the 18th of March 2026, Scotland banned greyhound racing. That is an incredible result, but not only that, yesterday Wales also banned greyhound racing. Now this campaign has been active for I believe 9 years. I've only been involved in a very small way since about 2023 as part of like Unbound the Greyhound. Now all I really did was sign petitions and write incessantly to my MSP and to share links online and to constantly ask people to sign what became the most signed petition in parliamentary history. So I think that's really something. I just want to read you this. So the votes for were 70 for the ban. There are 27 MSPs who voted against, and I will find out who they were, and 19 abstentions. And I think it's very important that we figure out who those people were that thought that the cruel practice of making dogs race around a track in a sport that kills hundreds of dogs was all right, because whatever their policies are and whatever they stand for is utterly against whatever I stand for. So I will be finding that out. I don't have time to go and do that research right now. In other really good news in animal welfare, the Netherlands has just banned breeding Scottish Wildcats and Sphinx cats. Now, if you don't know the health problems that those animals suffer, I would suggest caution when going and researching why this is a good thing. So they have a lot of health problems, and as a Scottish cat with a lot of chronic pain, I don't really feel like going into it, and I think that depending on where you are in your mental health right now, maybe going and looking at the severe disabilities that are suffered by certain types of animal which are bred for looks and aesthetic is maybe a choice that you should make in your own time. But that's very, very good news. They actually in 2019 banned brachycephalic dogs, that is the kind of dogs like pugs who can't breathe properly due to overbreeding. And in 2025, just there, they have now banned the Dutch Kennel Club from issuing pedigrees to certain dogs, which would have kind of allowed them to legitimise certain dogs to be allowed to be bred. So they've stopped that, which means that hopefully in future we're not going to have as many animals going around in constant pain, unable to breathe, eye infections, all kinds of horrendous infections and things. So yeah, just really, really good news in animal welfare right now. In wildlife news, 12 Scottish wildcats, which were functionally extinct, we pretty much almost lost Scottish wildcats as a species. 12 kittens have been born between 2024 and 2025 in Cairngorm National Park. So that's really good news as well. I had absolutely zero to do with that. I didn't even sign a petition or anything about that. I'm just really happy to report on that. Other things that I have campaigned a wee bit about, Loch Lomond has been saved from Flamingoland. No more Flamingoland Park. We've been campaigning for so long to try and preserve Loch Lomond National Park from this absolutely absurd development. So I might have reported on that before. That was news from February, but I just feel like we all just need some really good examples of where things are going right, especially in the preservation of nature. I know there is also some pretty positive news coming out from Dartmoor as well. The land mismanagement case, I just got an email from Wild Justice. Hopefully all of these I will also link in the description if I'm physically and mentally able to do so, because they're all really good news, and if you wanted to do any further research then you can. The other thing that I just heard today was the A303 order for development. The consent has been revoked. That's the roadway and the development that was going to be around Stonehenge, and I think that's again another really positive thing, not just for historical areas but also for areas of cultural and significant wildlife heritage and things like that. So yeah, just these are ecosystems, whether they are cultural ecosystems or whether they're spiritual places of pilgrimage, or whether they just happen to be supporting things like lichens that have existed long before we did. I think it's really important that we kind of recognise all the good news stories that are going on. Several good news stories from me. I'm just going to update a wee bit as well. In personal news, the NCR Field campaign, which I have been very heavily involved in, to save an avenue of 200-year-old sycamore trees, as well as 150 trees which are under tree protection orders from an American company trying to build a crematorium, beer hall, car park and football stadium at Camperdown Park in Dundee. That is still on pause because the traffic plan is ridiculous and it just can't be passed. So at the moment we are holding off on doing a lot of like kind of mass campaigning around that because it seems to be stalled and it seems like we might not need to put all of our energy into that. What we are doing is putting a lot of energy into the local development plan. Now we have until the 31st of March to make sure that we get all of our ideas into the planning document. It is exceptionally hard to find that planning document using the council's own website, to a degree that we have set up a support group for the people who are really involved in that. There is a document that is going through Changemakers, which you can find either on the Changemakers website or through the Maxwell Centre. They're doing a lot about it. Scrap Antics, the people who are heavily involved in making Changemakers what it is, and I will try and link that as well. If I have time, I will be making a specific response that you can copy and paste. I'm not sure how obvious it is, but I'm quite tired. It's been a hell of a week. If you were there at the start of the week or the weekend, thanks. Thank you for seeing me through that. I'm now awake, but only just. So the other things that happened this week is the State of Beaches report came out. I was on BBC Breakfast. I may or may not link that. I don't think they used any interview footage of me speaking. I think it's just about a minute and a half of my arse walking away from the camera. So if that's exciting for you, once again, you are more than welcome to go and donate to your local beach cleaning charity. I will try and link that. It's on BBC iPlayer, so if you're an international viewer, you probably won't be able to see it, thankfully. But that is a really important piece of reporting, and the fact that the BBC chose to cover that is really important for us as beach cleaners. I don't want to say too much about the State of Beaches report right now because I will be writing a blog post for Scottish Coastal Cleanup and Scottish Islands Federation regarding my reactions to it, because while it is very positive news that beach cleaning is being covered, I personally feel that some of the data does not reflect my lived experience, and that statement is the entire reason that I am involved in beach cleaning in any shape or form at this moment. Otherwise I would just be going out and cleaning up the oceans so that we don't suffer from entanglements with seals, whales, birds, any of the rest of it. I would just be doing it for the pure like respect for nature, but I am heavily involved in data collection because the data that exists doesn't reflect what I am seeing on beaches in Scotland. And once again, I feel that this report doesn't fully give a picture, and I would like to talk about that at length, which I don't have the capacity to do right now. In other news, if you do want to know more about beach cleaning though, there is a film that we made on beach cleaning specifically. It's called Shaping Our Shores. It's free to watch. You can go and find that in the link in my bio. Go and watch that. In other news, the Wild Biome Project 2026 is going ahead for September 2026. I'm very excited to say that I will hopefully be taking part again in that, which means that over the next few months you will be seeing a lot more foraging content from me, probably not in video format because I'm not that organised, but certainly on Instagram. If you are interested in sustainability, in recycling, in foraging, in litter picking, beach cleaning, or tree planting, although we are coming towards the end of the tree planting season, then updates can all be found there. I'll also be updating about the 1,000 Oaks project. This is how tired I am. I can't tell the difference between 100 and 1,000 at this point, in spite of being involved in that project for 10 years. So I will be doing updates on that as well, but most likely in still image format with some text. So I'm sustainably.spectrum on Instagram, and it would be much easier for me to just do those posts and let you all know about it there. So thank you, as always, for listening to me ramble. I hope that cheered you up a bit. I think like sometimes we just need proof that there is goodness in the world and there is positive action happening, and that some of these campaigns do have a purpose, even if you feel like you're just a single person out there just signing petitions or whatever, or supporting your local animal shelter. Like, I sent some money to a couple of cats. Well, one of my cats passed away. Ziggy passed away in the animal shelter, and I never got to meet him, and I'm very sad about that. But for the later years of his life, he was too feral to be rehomed, so he lived at the cat hotel, and he was fed and taken care of and loved. And maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's the difference that we make. I now make a difference to the life of a cat I have never met. Her name is Raven, and the chances are I'll never see her, and she will never ever know anything I've done for her. And all of the whales that don't ingest plastic will never know, and all of the seals that don't get entangled will never know, and none of the birds that don't feed plastic pellets to their chicks will ever know any of the stuff that we do. And that doesn't make it not worth doing. We have to do it. We have to do this work because there is no one else. We were given hands for a reason. We were put on earth for a reason, and I fully believe that that reason is to plant trees and to pick up plastic and to make it better for the people that come after us, and especially to make it better for the animals that are on this planet with us, because they didn't get a choice. We didn't get a choice in the way that capitalism and fascism and right-wing politics is fucking us all over, but we do get a choice in what we do from here on in. So that is your very tired update from everybody's favourite Scottish Eco Goth. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for listening, and yeah, I know it doesn't come across in my voice because I'm exceptionally exhausted, but I'm so thrilled. Like, I've been waiting for this moment for so long, and just in honour of the people who changed my life enough to make me into the kind of campaigner that I am. Yeah, I wish they were here to see it. I know somebody very specifically who would have been thrilled at this news and isn't here to see it, so you guys all stick around and keep doing the good work, alright?